We're going to be doing another Aniara illustration here. We're getting ready to, let's stick in the correct pencil size. Good. So there was a bunch of pre-recorded episodes, which I did, maybe like six or seven pre-recorded ones that should be up on YouTube soon. We made a little bit of progress. I guess we could go back through some of them. They're all really, really rough. We did this one here. You can't really see what I'm pointing at. This, which is kind of like the ship broadcasting radio waves out in space. This one is people watching as this one particular object flies by in space. It's like a part of the plot. This I didn't really detail out, but it's like a bunch of like towers and, you know, sci-fi things in the background, and then like the pool area of the ship. This is some kind of control room, maybe where the pilots go or something, and they're next to all these space windows. And then this is sort of as the ship society breaks down, people roaming through the halls with like, you know, the power is gone and they're using like torches to get. So we're gonna go back through and see if we can, you know, keep adding some ideas. Right now I'm not really being too kind of like precious about ensuring that I you know, stay away from existing concepts. We're kind of pulling certain inspirations from various pictures, and, you know, we're going to sort of like, you know, take it down as we go. We did that in the post-America stuff too. So this one is like a, I actually really like this design if it was a robot. There is a robot character in the book. Maybe we could do something with that. Let's try that. We're going to pull this guy back to small size. Oh, this eraser is too big. Now is not really the time to be like judging the pictures for like, oh, that works, that doesn't work. Like, the point right now is to just really put ideas on the page and, you know, kind of like get all the ideas out there and start coming up with things. I like the idea of him being on like a little stick of some sort that's like attached to the floor. They kind of did this idea in that movie Passengers with Chris Pratt, where it was like a Shining inspired robot that was on like a little track in the floor. Maybe we can screw around with this idea and make it a little bit less like that one. We're going to give him like a couple of like Lego arms or something. Oh well, his arms are pretty big, but we'll figure that out later. Actually, we want him to be looking at a table. Let's put him at a table here. Good. Get rid of this part. As you can see, this is like such an early stage that we really don't care about anything here, other than just, you know, coming up with stuff. So maybe he's kind of sitting there, and the question then becomes like, how do you see his? Well, you can see this thing, I guess. I like the idea of it being like a hologram table. The Gopta table, as it is referred to in the book, is very kind of like one of those sci-fi things that's really like they don't put any... That the author intentionally does not tell you what it is. It just in order to make it more sort of sci-fi-ish. So we're going to stick with that. Maybe let's actually pull this. Really want to sort of put too much work into the background, because it's supposed to be so graphic that really most work you put into the background is going to screw it up. Screw up like the read that you get. So let's try and pull this down. We'll maybe try and add some stuff in. Very, very small amounts of stuff. So let's, I don't know if we should give him like a, let's give him a, there's a really cool, in this picture that I'm looking at, it's basically a guy wearing a two-tone mask for like a, you know, some kind of like a gala or whatever, one of those eyes wide shut type of, who knows what it's for. It's some kind of mask party thing, whatever you call that. I always think of Eyes Wide Shut when I think of those types of masks. Like in BioShock. So we're going to put the one half like that, and we'll put the other half as like a, it's like a two-tone face then. That will do. That's pretty cool. That's like the mask from Slade in Batman. Okay, let's give him a couple eyes. This is looking pretty cool, actually. So this is supposed to look kind of like a split tone for like some kind of Art Deco-ish haircut, like 1930s or whatever. We'll figure that out later. But that's pretty cool so far. Let's do the split. I love that on this picture, the split switches. So as you can see, we're kind of pulling inspiration from existing Art Deco pictures, but we're not like... Obviously, we're trying not to actually steal any concept designs or anything. But I personally believe that it's always interesting when you're, you know, trying to evoke a certain style, if you do put some direct kind of like nods and things that are from that style in there, so that it's not... so that you can always tell, I don't know, you can see the appreciation for the original thing. So this would be a bow tie, I think, which maybe we could just make it a bow tie. Again, I'm trying to use a really big pencil so it doesn't, we don't get too lost in the, you know, weeds on details. I like the idea of him having these big shoulders. I don't really know why. I don't love him having like a humanoid hand. Let's maybe give him like a... something like that. Yeah, like back to this Lego hand type thing. And we'll give them a little ball joint on the bottom. We don't want it to get lost behind the table, though. This whole thing should probably be kind of pulled like this. Oops. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because he's at the table, so he should be tilted a little bit. And again, you can see that it's really... We're not trying to perfect anything or really even worry about... It's just a purely... all about, like, what kind of ideas can we come up with. Let's maybe make this ball joint a little bit higher up. And I guess we're gonna probably outline... That doesn't work. Can we do this? This is probably a job for when we bring in a finer pencil, but we'll do something like that for now. I don't know. It works well enough. Fine, whatever. It's not ideal, but it works for now. So we have that. I would like to pick the color palette from... I'm trying to pick like somewhat bold colors for some of these like items. Like I don't really like the idea of making space black, for example. Like it's so obvious. If that makes sense, like it's too expected. Art Deco posters and designs and stuff are always like really sort of have like out there colors. So let's try and pull some interesting colors here. Like for this table, it's like, you know, obviously like black and gray is an easy decision, but like I don't want that. So let's maybe do like blue. Maybe there's like a kind of highlight. Oh, maybe for both of these. Okay, we could do this manually. Let's just do it like this. I think it would be this. No, other way around. Yeah, like that. Like it's a shiny table. Okay. Again, not perfect, but we're just screwing around. We're not letting perfection get in the way of creativity. These things are going to be in the foreground. This should be another color, different color. Maybe get this thing like this. Maybe we'll put a couple of things like that. And what we can do, maybe stick like a yellow highlight. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Take this down a little bit like that. No, it doesn't work. Okay, I think it works for everything but the ball. Maybe it just has yellow accents on the outside. This is kind of cool, like this sort of unformed, that's cool. Alright, so then we'll do the yellow sort of spotlight looking things, which actually are spotlights on the World's Fair poster, but who knows what they are on this, you know. And then we're going to take both of these and make them a little bit translucent. Good. And so now let's just get a quick background in there. Let's get some Art Deco. Damn. I don't know what's up with my computer. It's deleting the background sometimes. Okay. Take some like purplish. And let me just pull this back so I can see what I wanted for the outlines. Let's get like a deeper purple for this. And let's do a layer inside of that layer. Oops. Which would be like a lighter purple. And it's the opposite. This. And then it would lose this. How does that make sense? Does that make sense? I don't think that makes sense. I think it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, because it's like the divot in the floor. Now we'll put this back to 100. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He needs to lose his bottom of his robo thing here. Obviously the floor is too dark. So let's just do a quick fix on this. Maybe even a little. Okay, this is here, so let's bring this here. Let's get a little blue in there, maybe. Art Deco always looks really cool with these, like, when it uses these gradients. Yeah, that's already looking pretty cool. Okay. So yeah, we took, 15 minutes, made a nice little concept design for, this is the chapter where the robot character is like, he's trying to solve like an equation on the Gopta table. I don't know, maybe like this. I think it's the fact that there's this extra light here. I think this works. It doesn't, it points it frames the scene. This is better. Okay. put a couple little dots or something. Nah, it's too much. Okay, good. I like the robot design. He also looks like a robot, which is nice. I love the design for the hollow table. I like the usage of color. We'll fix the, it's not perfect like the color theory or whatever, but like that's all stuff we fix later. I'm pretty happy with this one. Thanks for joining, ladies and gents. It's another quick, we're roughing out ideas for chapters in the book. This project we're working on is called Aniara. It's a science fiction story that I'm publishing my own edition of. You can find it on Amazon and Audible once it's released. If you're watching after it's released and you already bought the book and read it, then I hope you're enjoying these, looks into the making of process. And I hope that the final product looks a lot better than these rough ones. So enjoy, ladies and gents, and I'll see you on the next one.